A rose carrying the Princess of Wales' name has just been planted in one of the last places anyone expects a royal signature to show up, inside a women's prison. No red carpet. No flashy photo moment. Just a coral pink floribunda called Catherine's Rose placed quietly beside the pond at the mother and baby unit at HMP Style in Cheshire, marking 1 year since Catherine visited the unit in person. The part that makes people pause isn't even the flower, it's who planted it. A mother and her child who met Catherine during that visit, alongside the staff who run the service day to day. Picture the scene, not palace gardeners in crisp uniforms, but real people in a secure unit kneeling in the soil, tucking the roots in, making room for something living. The rose hasn't even bloomed there yet. It will take time to establish. And that's almost poetic, because time is exactly what families inside those walls are trying to rebuild. This unit exists for mothers raising babies while serving time, and the goal is simple but huge: help new or expectant moms build strong bonds with their children, so the baby's first months aren't defined only by stress and separation. That's why a garden corner, a pond, a bit of green, a chance to step outside, becomes more than nice. It becomes a pressure valve. A tiny piece of childhood that still feels like childhood. Here's what most people miss. When Catherine toured the unit last February, she actually floated the idea of gifting this rose back when it was still being developed. So this wasn't a random drop. It was a promise that took a full year to arrive, and it arrived exactly where she said it would. And this isn't just a rose with her name. It's a rose with a mission. Catherine's Rose was bred by Harkness Roses and officially named by the Royal Horticultural Society. It's designed to bloom in subtle coral pink shades, and the wider project is built around a message Catherine repeats often in different forms. Nature can steady people, mentally and physically, when life gets heavy. But then comes the twist that gives this story its bite. The rose is tied directly to fundraising for the Royal Marsden Cancer Charity, connected to the hospital where Catherine received treatment in 2024 before later sharing she was in remission. Every sale includes a donation to help fund specialist support and training so more patients can live well with, and beyond, serious illness. So this flower isn't just symbolic, it's a mechanism, turning public attention into practical help. That's also why the prison garden isn't the only destination. Around 500 of these roses have been distributed to well-being gardens and green spaces across the UK, including several of Catherine's patronages. In other words, this is a national rollout of a very personal idea. Healing shouldn't be exclusive. It should be planted everywhere people need it. And placing one at HMP Style sends a sharper signal than any caption ever could. If you truly believe belonging matters, you don't only plant hope where it's easy to photograph. You plant it where the need is obvious, and where growth is hardest. Action for Children's team has said the pond and gardens are hugely valuable to the mothers and babies there, giving children space to explore outdoors and letting families breathe in a setting that constantly tests them. That's why this isn't just a pretty plant. It's a living marker of patience. Something that will come back each season, even when everything else feels uncertain. Because maybe the most powerful part of this story is how slowly it moves. A rose doesn't change overnight. It takes repetition, care, consistency. The exact ingredients that rebuild trust, routines, and tiny moments of safety. And if a rose can take root behind prison walls, it's hard not to wonder what else could, if someone simply makes space for it. And when it finally blooms, the real question is, who is it blooming for, the cameras, or the families who needed it most?